Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're taking a look at the 2015 Marvel Legends Infinite Series Spider-Man Wave figures. Now this is Wave 1 featuring the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure. And most of the figures in this wave actually feature different parallel versions of Spider-Man, so this really doubles as sort of a Spider-Verse wave as well. So if you've been reading the Spider-Verse storyline, you definitely want to track down this wave of figures. But before you, we've got Daredevil. And if you're not familiar with Daredevil, he did first appear in Daredevil issue number 1 from April of 1964, and he was created by Stan Lee and Bill Everett. Now in the original appearance of Daredevil, he did have a yellow and brown costume, but that didn't stick around long. He quickly transitioned to this red version, and that's the costume that this figure is based off of. Now I actually had the Spider-Man Classics figure from Toy Biz several years ago, but I no longer have that figure in my collection, and I'm really curious to see how this version of Hornhead stands up. Let's go ahead and get things started by taking a look at that packaging. As you come down the front of the box, you do have the Build-A-Figure Hobgoblin logo in the upper left, you've got the emblem for Marvel in the center, and then you do have a window box packaging that does house the Daredevil figure inside, as well as his accessories and Build-A-Figure pieces. Coming to the bottom, you have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo, and then you have the name for the figure, Daredevil, there at the bottom. Flipping this package around, as you come down the back of this box, you have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo in the upper left and the Marvel logo in the right. You've got a bio for Daredevil. Go ahead and pause now to read that. You then have an image of the figure on the back, and then below him is the Build-A-Figure Hobgoblin logo. And then you have a complete lineup of all the other figures currently available in this wave, as well as an image of what all their Build-A-Figure pieces combine to create. We have Hobgoblin. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get Daredevil out of the box and see what he's all about. Alright toy fans, here we have Daredevil out of the box, and if this body mold looks familiar to you, well that's because it is. We first saw it used with the Bucky Captain America figure released in 2012, but of course that wasn't the last time we saw the figure. It was used again on Archangel, the Hydra Soldier, Carnage, Hawkeye, and Boomerang. But it wasn't just limited to these figures. We've seen this body mold used on other medium-sized figures as well. It's kind of the new thing that Hasbro is doing since creating that Bucky cap. Let's go ahead and get these guys cleared out of the way. Body mold aside, I really like the look of this Daredevil figure. Let's go ahead and pull him in close. You can see that he's molded out of this sort of red plastic, but then they've used red paint on the eyes and flesh tone on the face. They have a lighter red here for the D's on the chest, and then a lighter red for the gloves, the belt, the holster for his baton, and then even his boots. And I really like the way it looks. I think it accents the figure very well, having this sort of darker base body within the sort of brighter, well-accented pieces to the figure. It's very much in line with how the figure's been drawn in the comics, where you see he has almost a black-like outfit with a red highlight, but then his gloves and his belt and everything like that are all solid red. So I think they did kind of capture the look of Daredevil from the comics, and I like the way it looks on this figure. Daredevil comes with all the accessories that you see here. We have the left Build-A-Figure arm for Hobgoblin and his pumpkin bomb, and we'll look at these more in detail later on when we actually review that figure. But Daredevil also has this billy club here in his holster. You can see that both of these come out, and they do have a peg system so they can interlock and extend into one long baton. It does seem a little bit short for the Daredevil figure, but it's nice to have these two separate billy clubs, and they're made of a soft, flexible plastic. And you can see that they fit pretty comfortably into his hand, and it's pretty easy to pose him. I like what Hasbro's given us here. I just wish the combined staff would be longer. Moving on to articulation, Daredevil doesn't really surprise us here. He has everything we've seen on the previous figures that use the Bucky Captain America mold. His head will bend down this far and bend back that far, and it does rotate all the way around. He's got forward rotation at the shoulder that spins all the way around with a ratchet, and his arm bends up and out from the body that far, as well as having an upper bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow that bends in that far and out that far. He's got full wrist rotation, and then a hand that will bend back that far and bend down that far. He has the same articulation here on the other side. He does have an ab crunch here that'll bend in that far and bend back that far, as well as having a full rotation here at the waist. He's got a hip joint that allows his leg to move forward that far and move back that far. Does bend out from the body pretty nicely. Has full rotation at the top too. And then he has a double jointed knee that does collapse in pretty nicely, as well as having a rotation at the boot. And then he has an ankle that bends down that far and up that far, and it has that Hasbro ankle pivot. So an excellent range of motion on this figure. Exactly what you should be expecting with this mold. Height-wise, we can see that this Daredevil figure does stand just a little bit over 6 inches tall. For some size comparison, here he is once again compared to the Bucky Captain America figure. And here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. You know I have an enhanced sense of smell, don't you? Huh! Shing! And do you also have an enhanced sense of pain? Alright toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Spider-Man Wave Daredevil figure released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, I'm really pleased with this Daredevil figure, and I think he definitely warrants a spot in anyone's collection, especially if you've missed out on the Spider-Man Classics or the faced-off Daredevil figures from years past. He's got a really nice head sculpt, and I like the way that they've chosen to handle the paintwork on this figure. And those accessories aren't too bad either. I just wish that staff was a little bit longer. This figure's packed 1 per case, so keep your radar senses sharp because he'll be hard to track down, but he's definitely worth it. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.